my calculations are correct, when this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
They're here.
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
It's showtime.
Right, welcome everybody to another episode of the VHS Strikes Back. I am one of your hosts, Chris, and my co-host and very good friend is Dave.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to the VHS Strikes Back, the show where we dust off the old video player and go on a nostalgic journey to look at the good and the bad movies of yesteryear. Now, Chris, what are we going to review this week?
Well, Dave, it was your pick, and our first one of 2026, Pleasure and Pain. I can certainly feel the pleasure and pain watching this one. It definitely stirred the loins, and you did message me in the week saying if you don't get Helga feelings, then I don't know what will. But we are going back, my friends, to 1985. This one stars Ronald Lacey, Paul Smith, Sandahl Bergman, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Bridget Nielsen, Dave. This one is Red Sonja. So, Dave, tell us about this movie the first time you saw it.
Well, again, this is my prime. It came out in 85, and this is still in that prime sword and sorcery kind of phase that I was in. I think 85, I'd have been 9 at this point. And I probably watched it in 86, so probably getting up to 10. Now, what I would say is I probably watched this at exactly the wrong time because, you know, being like 9, 10 or whatever, this didn't hold up to the likes of Conan. So I used to watch Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer quite regularly. And then this came along and it's like, what do I want to watch a girl for? You just have that kind of attitude. And I remember watching it, and I'm sure I've said it when we've done other sword and sorcery movies, or sometimes hear them called sword and sandals, but for me, sword and sorcery, and I just love it. I remember going to the video shop, and there was something about the artwork on those VHS covers as well. They just looked great, and you know, all of them were larger than life, and I just there's something about the music as well, the settings, these fantastical worlds that they were in, this unbelievable place where rules are very simple. You know, you got goodies and baddies. There's no subtext or anything. It's all just text. And so, yeah, I remember watching it, and I didn't love it, if I'm honest. And, you know, I don't think Arnie particularly loved it either. And apparently he used to threaten his kids they'd have to watch it if they were being naughty.
To shut them up.
Yeah. But no, this has been on my list for ages. And I've got to say, Chris, we could actually be doing this. I know we've not done it for ages, the comics in motion, TV and movies. But we could have actually done this one on that, because Red Sonja, this version of the character actually came around a little bit, was created a little bit earlier, but in this kind of Conan setting, that was all from Marvel Comics. And so this is kind of the interpretation that we've seen. So even before Howard the Duck came out, this is almost like the first MCU movie. So yeah, and back in the 80s, I mean, I had no idea. It was just another sword and sorcery movie. But yeah, I remembered in my mind, I remembered Conan being in it, but it wasn't actually Conan, and we'll surely get into that at some point. But Chris, did you have any idea this was even a thing?
Yeah, so I did, to be fair, having only watched Conan when we've done the reviews, Dave, I actually thought Arnie was Conan in this. You know, I did actually think that.
Yeah.
I thought he has the character. And obviously, as you've said about being threatened with the kids, and you'd look at like some of the trivia out there, apparently there's a big thing in there because they couldn't use the name of Conan, that actually he is Conan, but it's his traveling name, Dave, like other sword and sorcery stuff. So technically he is Conan, but because they couldn't get the rights. But no, I remember the VHS cover. I remember it being Bridget Nielsen, but I also remember, isn't there a film with Dolph Lundgren, or is that the one with Grace Jones, Dave? Is that a sword and sorcery type movie where I thought it was actually, for some reason, it was Dolph Lundgren in this, not Arnie in Red Sonja.
So-
I don't think crossed over there, I think.
So Grace Jones was in Conan the Destroyer, which
That's
we will
it.
do at some point. So that was the second one. Not as
Ah.
good as the original. They went for more of a PG rating, and so yeah, it wasn't great. But yeah, Grace Jones was a great character in that, though. To be fair,
She was great, yeah. And I think my next pick, Grace Jones, may be in the movie, Dave. I've been sat on this one for ages. It's one of my favourites. So I will have that in the back pocket for next time, I think. But yeah, it's weird. Maybe I'm getting Dolph Lundgren, getting mixed up with He-Man, maybe, which I've just seen the new trailer of, Dave, which actually looks quite interesting. Have you seen it?
It does. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure I'm not convinced by the guy, but I have seen some stills where he's in the full He-Man gear, and he is stacked. So I think we'll see.
Yeah, but I mean, that's even worse than fucking Superman. At least Superman has glasses on. Fucking He-Man and Adam are exactly the same guy. He just changes it into a loincloth, doesn't he, when he becomes He-Man?
I never understood that at all. Even the cartoon, though. I mean, the thing is, Adam's got his like little white and pink, or is it purple
Blue.
sort of gear
Blue.
on, but he's still built like fucking Arnie, isn't he? Like he's exactly the same shape as him and everything.
And Battle Cat, the same as well. Oh, look, Battle Cat's got a fucking
same
mask on.
colours. Yeah. Oh, there's a fucking massive cat. Oh, it can't be. What was it, Cringer? Can't be Cringer. This one's got a mask on.
Yeah. I'm more excited about Skeletor. I still follow fucking inappropriate
You know
Skeletor.
who it is, though, don't you?
It's yes, I do.
Jared Leto, isn't it?
Yeah, when he was fucking
Can
shit.
someone just put him out to fucking pasture?
He's about fucking 80, and he's got like that elixir where he looks dead young, doesn't he? Jared Leto.
Paul Rudd elixir.
Yeah, the Paul Rudd elixir. I tell you what I have watched, nothing to do with Red Sonja, and I watched it yesterday. And and I'll do the old, as you say, we'll go behind the curtain a little bit. Some of the movies we do, we're doing the trailers and everything, and you've got to watch now, aren't you? Like, you're doing inappropriate voices or whatever. I've just watched the Wrecking Crew, which is Dave Bautista and Jason Momoa. Great film on Prime. Great film. It's a proper, but it only come out this week, Dave. The two brothers. It's buddy cop set in Hawaii. It is. Don't watch it with the kids because there's some proper decapitation, but it's a comedy action movie. And I tell you what, it's really good. Jason Momoa, they're both good in it. Jason Momoa is just fucking stupid. However, there's a bit in it, Dave, where he just starts taking the piss out of the Yakuza, Dave, and goes full on, I'm doing impressions of Jackie Chan and taking the piss out of them, which I've not seen in movies since before we all went woke. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but it's interesting that they've gone down this route. There's a little scene, because even I'm thinking, I can imagine that'd be a fucking HR call if you're in a business doing that sort of voice and racial stereotyping these days. And I'm not saying it's a right or wrong thing, but it's just interesting watching it. But I will recommend it. What a great film. Really, really good film.
It's
really
mad how Batista's slimmed right down, hasn't he?
Well, he still looks big in this, but Jason Momoa's got that sort of, I used to be shredded, and he's about 6'4", isn't he, Jason Momoa? 6'5". He's bigger than Batista. Even though I went and spoke to Eric, my ChatGPT friend, and said, how big is Jason Momoa? Because I've seen him next to Tyson Fury, and he's nearly as tall as him. And Dave Bautista, who had Jason Momoa's 6'4", Dave Bautista's 6'6", and I'm like, no, he's not. Dave Bautista's about 6'2", the old fucking Hulk Hogan 6'8" special there. And then when they stood next to people, like, you're like, I don't think you are 6'8", pal. But honestly, a total throwaway action movie. Think along the lines of like the Fast and Furious type thing, but there's some proper gruesome bits though. And there's a scene that is exactly the same as the fucking Fast and Furious runway scene that goes on it's the longest road I've ever been on. But other than that, I would recommend it, Dave. And Ryan Reynolds, his love interest, who is in Deadpool, is in it with shorter hair. And I do have a thing for her, Dave. She's stunning.
Oh, Monica.
Yeah.
Something.
She's stunning. And she's the same age as me. She's 46, Dave. Obviously, I'm happily married, but I'm just throwing it out there. If anyone wants to put me in a movie with her, I'm happy to be a love interest. But no, it's really good. Really silly. Set in Hawaii. Just a complete action rom. All the cliches are there, but they deliver it really well. And Jason Momoa and Dave Bautista are great. Momoa's really good in it. He's just such a dick in it. Really good film.
Very
So
good.
I'd recommend that. There you go. Nothing to do with Red Sonja, but he was just more the The accent thing I had to throw in there. But anyway, Dave, back to this. So never seen it. Obviously, everyone knows that my days as Helga and dreaming of Helga
Your
were
days
based.
as Helga. I don't think we've heard about this.
I wish I was in Helga Day, but that's another fucking thing. But when I was a kid, but there you go. It always reminds me of Bridget Jones at the firing range in Beverly Hills Cop 2. Eddie Murphy talking to her. She's got fishnet stockings on, sort of leaning over, shooting Dave. That was where Helga wanted to take young Chris when he was young Dave, and that's where that comes from. So it was Grace Jones all along in blonde hair. But yes, I always thought she was good looking in Cobra as well. I remember never watching the film properly as a kid, as you know, only watched little bits, but I always thought she was good looking.
Grace Jones?
Oh, Grace Jones, Bridget Nielsen. Bridget Nielsen. That's a different movie, Dave. But anyway, Bridget, what have I just been saying?
That's because you mentioned Grace Jones before.
Lost it, Anna. I've lost it. Anyway, Bridget Nielsen.
Your mind is with Helga and Bridget Nielsen, I think.
I don't know, Dave. Fucking hell. Yeah, anyway, right, moving on. But anyway, get to the point. I'd never seen it, and it's one I'd avoided because I knew it had bad reviews. And then step forward, Mr. David Horrocks in 2026 thought, you know what? I'm going to get you back, Chris. So I'm going to throw this one in there. So here we are, my friend.
Well, I do think that, well, it's obviously my pick, so I would think this, but I do think, to encapsulate that pain and pleasure theme for the year, I do think this one hits the mark, for me at least. But Chris, last year was obviously the year of the stitch-up, and we talked a little bit about our competition last week, and we actually have a winner now. So if you want to give us a drum roll.
You hear that?
No.
No?
Oh,
fuck
sorry.
you, noise cancel it. Hang on.
I'll put it on in post.
Dave, hang on.
That's it. There we go. And the winner is Naked Lunch. That was chosen by Math. And
well done, Math.
Was a worthy winner because it was fucking terrible and it was a proper stitch up. And I know there's people out there who think it is this fucking arty, amazing movie. But yeah, that was a properly good stitch up. That. So well done, Math. Well done as well to Jack, who picked Champagne and Bullets. But I think we agree that wasn't a stitch up. That was a gift he bestowed upon us, wasn't it? And I think that got to the final because of people's sort of love of the movie. So let's listen to the man himself.
It's an honour to receive the Stitch Up of the Year Award 2025, and I'd like to thank my opponent, Jack, but Naked Lunch, we had your champagne and bullets for dinner. Thank you all to the patrons as well who voted the right way. Mug won't sauce for you all. I'd also like to thank Chris and Dave for the show each week. Not only that, but the involvement they allow from us patrons truly adds an awful lot. It helps the show feel like you're meeting up with friends and just having a laugh. And there's also the ability to share some stories, like one knocking one off to Pamela Anderson on the screensaver, to sharing something more personal like Chris did last week. Again, thank you all for your contributions, no matter how large or small that is. And let's just see how this year's Pain and Pleasure pans out.
Awesome stuff. So there we go, Chris. And also a reference to the Pamela Anderson screensaver. And I keep forgetting, was that story on here or did we do it on Back to the Office?
It was on here, Dave.
Right. Legendary.
Fucking, yeah. Legendary. Again, Chris Phelps, the oversharing king of the podcast, but there you go. Fucking brilliant. Oh, the great pictures though, Dave. Fucking, I got me through some tough times there in the winters in 97, 96.
Yeah. I remember it in the down the AOL. Mind you, it was better at work, wasn't it? It was quicker, but
it was quicker than it had to be.
The pictures that used to load so slowly from the top.
Those were the days, Dave. The people don't realise how lucky they are now. Right, so thank you for that, Matt.
So yeah, absolutely amazing. Thanks to everyone who took part. It was 64 person tournament or 64 movie tournament. Kind of glad it's over now, though, if I'm honest.
Dave, I'm sorry. I've got to interject here. There's 2 points. I've got something I've got to speak about before we get into the trailer. There's no way Look Who's Talking Now shouldn't have been in the final. John Travolta's performance was up there with some of the greats in that movie, Dave. And Lisa Anthony, a late surge. And also, you know what I love, though? And everyone knows the way the dynamic of the podcast. I love everyone going, thanks, Dave, for organising that. And this, it's been amazing. And I'll jump in and go, what about me? And it's like, just because your name's above the fucking door, Chris, it doesn't mean you get Dave's all the way. So I'm trying to jump on the back of your coattails, but not one person's thanked me for this. Fucking not happy, Dave, even though I did absolutely nothing. You did it all. That's like
it was kind of a spur of the moment thing. I can't remember. I think it might have been Blake or Math suggested it over the kind of Christmas period, and I thought, this would be a cool idea. So I just kind of ran with it. But no, it was a lot of fun, and we might well do a similar thing for the next year as well. No,
you did well. I do. Joking aside, mate, you did a cracking job with that. You're so good at things like that. So I appreciate it as well. And it was such good fun seeing the comments. I was getting pelters, as I should do, doing absolutely jack shit. But as I say, my name's above the door, so I'm just doing that usual the manager thing of just trying to take the glory when you did all the work, Dave. So I do apologise.
Oh, no worries, no worries. So should we get into our trailer?
Let's go.
In a world where fantasy films were greenlit based entirely on hair volume and cocaine confidence,
comes Red Sonja, a film that asks, what if Conan? But legally we can't say Conan.
When an evil queen steals a magical glowing orb of unlimited power,
which looks like it was nicked from a school science fair.
Only one warrior can stop her, a warrior forged in trauma, battle, and deeply questionable costume engineering.
That chainmail is less armor and more strongly worded suggestion.
Red Sonja, skilled swordmaster.
Honestly, one strong breeze and that outfit becomes a war crime. Dave, I'm going with this accent because that other one was rubbish. I was going for Brian Blessed and it sounds terrible. Carry on.
Alongside her travels, Calidor, a mighty warrior.
A man who looks like he lost the bet and had to appear in someone else's franchise.
Together, they face armies, monsters, and set designs that look like they were built during a lunch break.
The entire film feels like someone spent the budget on a hairspray and just hoped for the best.
Witness epic battles, legendary quests, dialogue that sounds like it was translated through 3 different languages, and The Hangover.
Every line is delivered like the actors just found out what the plot was mid-scene.
Red Sonja, a story of destiny, power, and aggressively 1980s fantasy nonsense.
It's not good. It's not bad. It's what happens when studio executives think swords and muscles equals profit.
Steel will clash, magic will rise, narrative structure will quietly die.
And somehow, you'll still watch the whole thing.
Sonja is attacked and left for dead by soldiers of Queen Gedrin, who murdered Sonja's parents and her brother after Sonja rejected the Queen's advances and scarred Gedrin's face. Answering Sonja's cry for revenge, a female spirit appears and gives her heightened sword fighting skills on the condition that she never lie with a man unless he defeats her in fair combat. She trains under the warriors of a sword master called the Grandmaster and mistrusts nearly all other men. Now, Chris, what do you reckon to the opening of this movie?
Well, Dave, that plot is nothing what I see at the start of this movie. Now, listen, you have absolutely done me with this because there is a copy of it on, as you told me, Dave, after I watched it on YouTube. It is on ITV as well, ITVX. It's on there as well, everybody. this is unreal. I actually thought Bridget Nielsen's voice was dubbed at the start, and then later on, I don't know whether it is, but then the first couple of conversations, I'm thinking that's not Bridget Nielsen. But then later on, you can hear the cadence of her voice come out, so it's definitely her. Yeah, this is you, this classic Dave Horrocks, sword and sorcery, mid-80s nonsense. I mean, Bridget Nielsen she does look stunning in this. I've got to say, she's definitely Chris Phelps' wet dream. But I think the movie's terrible, but I didn't hate it. I don't know whether you're like doing some sort of magic. Maybe that when the spell came down, that she became a sword fighter. There's something about these sword and sorcery films now that I can sort of walk through them and go with it. And obviously it's got Arnie in it, which we need to talk about that. But I just think, yeah, the start's weird. They're all fighting, aren't they, against the soldiers? And after that orb thing and everything, and there's a couple of them I thought I recognised, like some of the soldiers and that, the women soldiers, and it feels a bit like, to be honest, it feels a bit like the start of Wonder Woman, doesn't it? You know, the actual Gal Gadot one. The first two are great films. Let's not talk about the third one, but it does feel a little bit like that, doesn't it? The Amazonians, same thing, really, and like the fighting and everything, and it is really an offshoot of Conan, so it doesn't feel unfamiliar. But I think, how the fuck she got this job, other than the fact that she was a model, is ridiculous. Because she's terrible in this, Bridget Nielsen, isn't she? She's fucking awful. It's no wonder she was she was all right in the Beverly Hills Cop 2, because she don't really say much, does she? You know what I mean? It's more about her stature. 6 foot blonde. She's stunning. She's dingy dents, misses, and that. She doesn't say a lot, but when she's got to say a lot in this, fuck me, she's terrible. And that's coming from the fact that Ian Arnie's in this, and some of his dialogue's fucking terrible as well. But she's rubbish to lead this movie. She's not the right actress. It should have been Sandahl Bergman who got offered it, wasn't it? Who's obviously the baddie.
It was, yeah.
She didn't want it. She was in Conan, but again, 2 tall women, 2 really good women. I mean, I've got to say, Sandahl Bergman's really good looking in this, Dave, as well. But yeah, 2 stunners in this movie.
She was also, if you remember, in Hell Comes to Frogtown.
She was. Yeah. What?
So, I mean, you've said it there. I mean, Sandahl Bergman got offered the role, but she didn't really want to do the same kind of role that she'd already done before. So wanted to be more of a baddie. And apparently, it was just going through a magazine or something. They spotted Bridget Nielsen, 6 foot. And it's like, right, that's the Red Sonja. Never acted before. Not a problem. It'll be fine. Yeah, I mean, even Arnie's acting though is pretty terrible in this, isn't it? I think he's not as bad as people make out. I think one of my favorite lines is something like, she's up on the horse and he says, "I know you're a brave girl." It's just a really weird way he says it. It's like,
that's great.
It just cracks me up. But yeah, I mean, for me, it starts off with that classic. It's very much like Conan, where the village is overrun, destroyed. I honestly, there are some things in this that are very much of its time. I mean, the first scene, you get to see her kind of waking up, and there's almost something 60s about the way that's shot, and she wakes up to basically the ghost of Christmas Present, I think, from the Muppets Christmas Carol. But it wakes up to that, and it's never really explained, like, where the fuck did this ghost come from? It just comes at the start, disappears at the end. But I mean, the exposition that we get, so she's obviously woken up Sonja, but it's just a really clunky exposition, because it's like she's explaining to her what has just literally happened to her, and they're doing the flashbacks, and they're saying, "Oh, your family were killed, your body violated," and we get the flashback to the rape scene, and it's like, I don't think they'd have that now. It just seemed unnecessary to me. But it's also like, all right, just fucking literally happened to me, trying to forget about it, maybe just fuck off, ghost. But yeah, she but it's then weird to bestow on her this skill, which is tied to the fact she can't have sex with the bloke unless he defeats her in combat, which she later describes as an oath, as opposed to this kind of magical thing that's happened to her. But so I'm loving the start, to be honest. Again, without remembering it specifically, I just remember that feeling of immersing in these magical worlds and watching movies that ultimately made no sense. I mean, we get to see her, fighting this bloke, and this is the other thing where you really see the budget when we watch these movies now, because you've got this grandmaster in the background. There's literally one other guy who's sparring with her, and the grandmaster is dressed up like Queen Amidala or something. It's just, but there's no one else apart from the camera crew, I guess, behind. And so she defeats this guy in combat, and he goes to give her a bit of a hug. She backs away. She doesn't want it. And then the Grandmaster comes out, this fucking ridiculous, over-the-top ceremonial outfit. But just this one thing, and then they start talking, and then again, just of its time, she's talking about not trusting men, but she obviously has an affection for the Grandmaster, and then he's like, "Oh, if I was 30 years younger." Fucking dirty old man. And then she goes to pick her sword, and so I am Chris, no bones about it, terrible movie. The acting is horrendous, but there are so many things. I think the costuming for that ridiculous over the top sword and sorcery stuff, I think the music is fantastic. Just with a simple story. I mean, we don't know really what is this fucking green glowing orb. It just there's so many undertones. Again, maybe there are undertones because they're right there of like lesbianism, and this green glowing orb. When Queen Gedrin goes to capture that, it's obviously got this destructive power, but men can't touch it. And she just it seems to say it multiple times, just like, touch it. And she's getting the girl to touch it. It's like, yeah. Only girls could touch this. So it just Chris,
movies we've watched as kid, Dave.
Yeah. Well, that's it. It's like you think about that dialogue written on the page, and it's like, fucking hell, this could be a very different movie. But I kind of love the opening.
Well, I think what's interesting is when Arnie comes into it. Calidor. Again, he's definitely Conan, like I say, just because he couldn't get the rights. But what I find fascinating, and I know you've probably read this yourself, Dave, is this whole thing that he just did it as a favour, didn't he? And then ended up getting roped in, and he didn't realise that he was there should have been there for a week. He was there for 4 weeks. Thought he was doing a cameo. And then by a bit of trickery, a bit of skills, he ended up getting a co-star acknowledgement, which he was fuming about, Dave. And that's hence why, as you said before, the trailer about throwing to his kids. And he fell out with Paul, whatever he's called, whoever the guy was. He fell out with him, didn't he? Because he said, like, he sort of manipulated Arnie into becoming a co-star. And they didn't have enough footage. And it's all like smoke and mirrors, isn't it, with Arnie? So in the movie. But again, Arnie is fucking terrible. Like, the stuff saying says, like, I want to help you. I want to, and I'm like, it doesn't work, does it? You've got him and Grace Jones, who are not English speaking natively. Oh my God.
Get off the Grace Jones bandwagon. You are wanting us to do the Conan the Destroyer, aren't you?
I'm thinking about my movie I'm picking for Grace Jones Day. But anyway, sorry, Bridget Nielsen, who are both not English speaking natively. Now, Bridget Nielsen's better than Arnie, but there is bits in it where you're like, oh my God, and it doesn't deliver. Like, obviously, Bridget Nielsen's gone for sort of like an Englishy accent. I love the fact, though, Dave, that when we meet Prince Tar, the Asian kid, his fucking henchman has got a broad New York accent. Like, not even fucking like
just come down from the deli.
Yeah, he's been in Bronx and stuff, and he's just come fucking straight from there. Because his henchman's supposed to be of Asian origin, and he's just got these proper, I don't give a fuck, I'm just doing my normal accent, almost doing a Sean Connery. Can you give us a Spanish accent? No, but I'll just do my normal one, and we'll pass that off, as we always laugh about him and Christopher Lambert.
Yeah.
I'll say, Dave, by the way, have you seen Henry Cavill this week as Connor McLeod?
I can't wait for it. And you hated Highlander, so are you actually sniped for this one?
No, I like the first one. I'm sure I like the first one. You said that the other ones are fucking.
I love the second one.
The first one's great. The Kurgan's fucking legendary as a baddie. It's one of my favourite bits when he's following him in the park and you just see him in the background. I love that. No, the first one's a great movie, but I can't wait. I mean, if there is a fucking bloke about 60 doing backflips through a car park, then I might be out, Dave. But I think they're going to do it well. And Henry Cavill's brilliant. He gets it done with these sort of movies. And plus, he's just done The Witcher. So TV show for a couple of series, so he's good with the old sword fighting and that, so he'll be well up to speed when he's playing Connor McLeod. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. I mean, he might even go to cinema to watch this one. I have to go on my own though, so I won't watch it, but yeah, it's looking good, Dave. I'll give you that. That's definitely a movie on my radar.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it as well. But Chris, I did say last week, this is kind of a spiritual trilogy. And it is in two ways, because really, like you say, Calidor is Conan, basically. Although, he doesn't get his top off, does he? But you can see the guns. And actually, although I think there's part of this that's a little bit progressive, the fact mid-80s, you've got a female lead, in name at least. But if you look at the poster, like Red Sonja is actually like a side character, and then you've got this massive fucking Arnie in the background who's like fucking 10 times the size of her or something. So it's just really weird. And like you say, he did get tricked into it. Arnie he'd done Conan, obviously, he'd done Conan and the Destroyer, he'd done the Terminator. So in these low budget sword and sorcery movies, he's fucking the shit, he's properly someone to try and get his time. So it wasn't cool how they tricked him into it. But really, you could say, well, this is kind of the third part of that Conan trilogy: Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer, and then you've got Red Sonja. Also, last week we did Pumping Iron, starring Arnie. The week before that, we did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze. And that movie starred an actor called Ernie Reyes Jr., the pizza guy. Yeah. The pizza guy is Prince Tarn in this movie.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Honestly. Oh,
honestly, it is.
Great martial arts skills. Yeah, really good. Yeah. What a little character he is in this, though, Dave. It's just fucking bizarre, isn't it? Like, he's so good at the martial arts, but then
he's the best
so
action actor, isn't he?
Yeah, 100%. So because you don't see it at first, he's under sort of like he's sort of like imprisoned, and he's getting shit off them people, and you're thinking, oh, he's just going to be an annoying little shit. He might get redemption out, and then after he sort of set him free, Sonja does. Next minute, he just starts kicking the shit out of him. We're on the phone. I'm like, oh, hang on. You need to lean into this. He should be more powerful, not just... All right, to be fair, they're using his size and saying, look, you might be able to fight people when you're older, and he's learning a few skills. But there's a point there where you're thinking, well, it is in a fantasy world. Why can't he just be that big and just kick the shit out of everyone? Because he's got some great skills, hasn't he?
Yeah, he did. He definitely came off well, and jumping around a bit, but later on, I mean, he was a proper obnoxious little shit, and like you say, you've got the guy he actually played Bluto in Popeye. So Paul L. Smith, basically Falcon. He's like the muscle, and apparently, Gedrin had destroyed the whole rest of his kingdom and all the army. Apparently, again, brilliant way to hide the budget, because you just got this very small cast. But yeah, the bit that had me crying, and I had to send it through to you, is he's still being a little shit. He's kind of practicing his skills though, practicing with the sword, and then Sonja quite easily disarms him, and then she starts to show him the sword skills. And he's got the sword at kind of, let's say, a 45-degree angle from his waist. And she's saying, oh, you're gripping it too tightly. You need to grip it more gently. And he's got this big shit-eating grin smile on his face. And he's like this. And he grabs her hand to put it back onto the shaft of the sword. Like, I was watching it thinking, oh, this is Chris's Helga. 100%. This would be Chris's dream.
Yeah, but do you think this is where Ghost got the inspiration from, Dave? Red Sonja? Because it's a bit creepy as well, isn't it? I mean, he's not played up like anything's going to happen, but I'm
not
also...
like weird science.
No, I mean, I'm thinking it's more... Yeah, it's a bit strange, but yeah, that whole thing, there's a reason that was done like that, wasn't there? It's exactly what we both think, to be fair, Dave. You're so right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did wonder whether old Ernie there, whether he was aware of like being, it would have been the director who telling him exactly what to do in this screen, and they'd have shot it multiple times, and then we got the best take of it, and they're clearly going for a proper full-on carry-on cameo, aren't they? With the innuendo. So I wonder if it is very wrong to manipulate this kid into doing this suggestive scene.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I don't think he would have known, Dave. Not at all. I know Hollywood is Hollywood, but it's a bit... And maybe it wasn't intentional. Maybe because of the way things have evolved as years have gone on, there's plenty of files being released, Dave, as we speak. So various things that have gone on. So I think
slower than they should be.
To be fair, though,
rub out all of the bits that they don't want you to see.
Yeah, but if you use Adobe, I believe the stuff they've taken out, you can read. But also, Dave, wasn't a lot of sweating in this movie, was there? But anyway, that's another story. Let's move on. So, but I do think you're right. I don't think he was maybe he wasn't aware. But again, the bit when fucking Calidor comes to it and he wants, Arnie wants a piece of, which apparently, Dave, in real life, Arnie and Bridget Nielsen,
didn't they?
Yeah, making this movie. Fucking old dirty dick, fucking steroid, Mr. fucking steroid dick, fucking Arnie was all over the place, wasn't he? Fucking Maria Shriver. He's probably got about 30.
He wasn't even married to her at this point, was he?
No, it was his girlfriend, but he dirty dick Arnie. He's got kids everywhere, hasn't he? But anyway, he's still a legend, but not for that, Dave. But yeah, he has a bit with her. There's stuff going on, but it's the bit when he says to her about, he basically wants the kids. She's like, no, I cannot forbode from kissing, getting with a man until he defeats me. And I'm like, but then you're dead. So how is he going to get with you? What's the logic? I mean, I think Calidor does say something like that, but there's no logic to that spell, is there, of the oath that she's made that she cannot get with a man because he's got to beat her in a fucking sword fight. I'm like, well, it's probably going to kill you. So how are you going to do that? There's not that made no logical sense to me at all. And then we get that scene where they fucking sword fight for about 20 minutes, don't they?
I think the implication is it goes on for hours because you get Tarn and Falcon there watching. And again, the suggestion is that Sonja's not really trying that hard. Tarn says something to that effect, but it looks like they're fighting for ages. And again, I struggle. You could tell Arnie he'd had his sword lessons, hadn't he? So he can handle it okay, but he's got these tree trunks for arms. And Bridget Nielsen is a tall, athletic woman, but ultimately, not in the same, she's not a bodybuilder. So, I think the action scenes were kind of okay, but I was struggling to buy into them, to be honest.
No, well, fucking hell, Dave, if that's the only thing you struggle to buy in, then I'm no wonder you like it. But when they end up at like they go to see Queen Gedrin and she wants to sort of get in there and she tells Calidor, doesn't she, like, leave me alone and fucking no man is for me and all this fucking crap, and he's there in the shadows in him. I love the bit when they're fighting against that fucking dragon, that water dragon or whatever it is,
the known mechanical dragon that often is in medieval
that just
barbarian times.
and that must be where Arnie, you know that thing where you've done it as an impression, you do pretty good impression where he's like, you know, he's fucking, that's it when he's in the water. That's it, yeah. He's in the water, and all he's doing, he's like he's on the fairground. That fucking dragon thing's just going round in circles. You can clearly see it's mechanical, can't you? He's just going round and fucking round, and then eventually
doesn't bite them, does it?
No, exactly. He's nonsense. Like, it really is. It was obvious when he was doing the old Indiana Jones thing of pulling it out. Oh, and I tell you what, I missed completely. His fucking bomber out of our Wiedersehen Pet. I've killed 177 men. What thinks
I
that
lady?
Recognized
him. Well, I didn't look him up.
Bomber, Pat Roach, Dave, he was in all the Indiana Jones movies, so we've done them as well. He's the henchman. But he's that bit, like, 177 men and I have defeated them all. And then she just kicks the shit out of him, doesn't she? And I'm like, well, that's one of the worst fucking fight scenes at the start I've ever seen. But that was Pat Roach. And apparently, Dave, there was 3 people from the Indiana Jones movies in this who were like henchmen or Nazis, and Pat Roach being one of them. There was 2 others as well who were in this movie. So they all did about 4 or 5 movies together as baddies. But and the thing about this is, Dave, as a massive Our Wiedersehen Pet fan, this was filmed around the same time he was doing Our Wiedersehen Pet, the second series, because second series came out in 1985. So this was filmed in 84 when Our Wiedersehen Pet second series was filmed. So, weird. And he did Never Say Never Again and stuff like that as well with Sean Connery. But anyway, that's a terrible fight, and it doesn't get any better. But when it gets to, they go to the castle, Dave, and Calidor's there. And what they do with Arnie there is you can clearly see reading the trivia, like he's only in a few scenes, but they use him so clever the way they trick the audience to think he's the co-star, and tricked him as well. Like, no wonder he was fuming and didn't speak to the guy afterwards. But again, like, the payoff isn't there. Tarn's like, they give Tarn this thing when she's given the sword thing and how to use this and how to do that. And he's like, I'll stay down here. And then his henchman, the fucking New Yorker, he can't even climb up the side. And it looks like Batman 66, doesn't it? They're clearly crawling on the floor, and they've just turned the camera to the fucking side, so it looks like they're going up a wall. It's proper Burt Ward fucking stuff. Burt Young's fucking Polly. Burt Ward stuff, Dave, out of Batman. It was so shit when they were trying to go up that fucking thingy. It was just stupid.
See, I was buying all of it. I was loving it. And again, you do get a bit of the daft sort of slapstick, because when Falcon falls in, he falls on the table, in the middle of all the guards, and he's just armed with this big fucking dinosaur bone or something. And then you get Arnie jumping onto the table, which propels Falcon up. It's just, I do prefer my sword and sorcery to be a little bit more serious, a little bit less slapstick. But again, I'm probably an idiot just for swallowing all of this stuff. But yeah, you do get that kind of action scene in there. But I you know what, my mind completely went there when you were saying about Raiders of the Lost Ark. Of course, Icol, who's like the right hand man of Queen Gedrin, don't you? But he was absolutely for me not unrecognizable, but he absolutely stood out to me. He's the fucking SS guy from Raiders of the Lost Ark, isn't he?
That's him. That must be one of the guys they were saying was in all the 3 films.
Yeah, so he, and I've not seen him in anything else, but again, he's got a slightly, he's English anyway, but he's putting on the English accent. And that's the thing, I guess, that you do get a lot of in these fantasy movies, I guess, the lead stars have, not in this, but, close to American accents, but all the baddies and everything are all English. So yeah, I mean, he played an interesting sort of role. What did you reckon when they did the wizard who looked like Frank Zappa or Tony Iommi or something, and he was trying to bring up the old mirror on the wall, and then the first time he gets it a bit wrong. It's like he's left the wrong DVD in, and you get this belly dancing naked woman. I was like, is that a weird kind of? Again, is that his personal stash? Was that the joke, or was it just an excuse to get some boobs into an 80s movie?
Now, listen, Dave, don't be fucking ruining things like that. That's not like the movie. They don't make sense to me. We've watched a few like this that were said. And one of the other guys, I'm just looking now as you saying all that. Teddy Richards is the other guy who's in Raiders of the Lost Ark. He's the swordsman, Dave, who Harrison Ford shoots. You know, when he in real life he had the shits and he couldn't do the sword fights. He just gets the blood out. That's him. But yeah, Dave, there's got to be booze and stuff in these movies. It just wouldn't be sword and sorcery. There's got to be some pleasure watching this fucking nonsense, hasn't there? But I think even at the end, like Queen Gedrin, she's not even at the level of Sonja, is she? You know what I mean? Like there's a bit of a sword thing, but it's nothing where you're worried about her really. You know that it's like the talisman. It's all the people around her that are going to do it, and ultimately the fights again though, Dave, are rubbish, aren't they? Like when even Arnie was like helping Sonja out, and he's a good horseman, like he can ride the horses. That's from Conan and stuff. You're right, and obviously when we watched Conan, the sword was just too big for him, wasn't it? Like the way he wielded it, we should have had him killed against anyone with a little knife or something. It took that long. It took like 3 weeks to swing it, so it doesn't really work. But I don't know. There's just like a personality thing missing. I just think a lot of it, and it's not her fault. It's just Stotzy Bridget Nielsen. She's just not that good and not that believable. And I think the reason they went with putting Arnie on all like the promo stuff is just to promote it, because he was at the height of everything. One, he got the back of Terminator, done Raw Deal at this point. Commando was out in '85. So there's all these movies that Arnie was synonymous for, and that's probably why they've manipulated it, because he probably saw it as a small like cameo, and it ended up being somewhat bigger that he wasn't really privy to. So listen, I get it, and I understand why you've picked it, and this is well in your wheelhouse. As soon as it comes on, I'm like, hey, fucking love this shit. I do smile because I know that you love it, and irrespective of whatever I think, you might be thinking you stitching me up, you are, but I do, as your friend, I do like sort of smile to myself and go, Dave was well into this in the 80s. So no, it's silly, isn't it? Because it does annoy me so much that I've had to watch this, but I also laugh internally. I know exactly why he's picked this. But also it's nice knowing that these are the sort of stuff you liked, whereas for me, mine was the action stuff, wasn't it? The martial arts. Even though you love the martial arts, I would never have picked these sort of movies. Mine's the bread and butter action. There's got to be cars in it and stuff like that. You know, I would never have picked a movie, even though I've enjoyed the odd sword and sorcery one we've done. Yeah, this is just you. DNA of Dave Horrocks for me, 100%.
Yeah, and I do think probably my peak sword and sorcery years, it probably did reflect the movies at the time, but you had Conan coming out in 80, and this was obviously 85, and then there were things that came after this, but I would say those 5 years, you just had all these great movies that came out, and so that was the peak time for these sword and sorcery movies. And again, you know, you didn't need a big cast at that time. Red Sonja, I don't know if you know, but they've redone it, so it's out now. So I haven't watched it yet, but I just can't imagine how it will capture. They'll probably try and make it too serious. They'll have loads of extra people there to make, you know, the scenes look bigger and everything, but I just love the small cast, these vast landscapes, the nonsense over the top action and everything. So it is great, and there's some, I mean, like you say, it's hard sometimes to basically underact Arnie.
Yeah.
Bridget Nielsen is really not good. And there's one bit when they're at the castle right at the end, and she's like, Gedrin, where are you? And the director's obviously, you know, run up to the camera and we're going to, you know, you're angry. But she does it so over the top. It is so fucking funny. But yeah, I still loved it. So anyway, Chris, should we get into our final review?
Let's go. So, Dave, I've got to say, I didn't absolutely hate it, and I was more smiling in bits because I know you like this shit. I don't. Bridget Nielsen is fucking terrible. Arnie's not that far behind, but it's Arnie, so I'm being, you know, absolutely ridiculous, you know, watching this. It's just stupid. Absolutely stupid. So for me, Dave, it is going to Elm Street. all day long. I think it's ridiculous. I don't want to watch it again. I know you're going to stitch us up with Conan the Destroyer at some point, but there you go, Dave. Unbelievable. Great pick. And pleasure and pain. It's probably more pain me having to watch this absolute nonsense. So Dave, go on, hit me with it. Let me hear your story and your defense against this effort.
But like I say, I think the pleasure bit, I think for you at least, is the Helga character in there as Bridget Nielsen. But yeah, so I mean, I'm not a million miles away from you. I'm under no illusions. This is not a good movie. There's so much bad about it. And yeah, the acting is probably the worst I've seen for a while. I mean, we talked about Champagne and Bullets earlier, but I mean, this is not that far above that. But I think the settings, the landscapes, some of the set design as well, you get these big kind of dinosaur bridges and stuff, and most of them are paintings, but that's okay. I think it really sets you in that world, in this kind of mythical Iberian world. And so, yeah, I did kind of love it, but I'm going to put it a little bit higher. I'm going to put it in the middle, probably just unjustly, really, because it is a terrible movie, but just the enjoyment I get out of it and the enjoyment I get of making you watch this shit as well. It just bumps it up a bit. So it's a hill valley from me. And yeah, I'll definitely be watching this again. And what I will say is, I think the HD treatment, if you don't watch it on YouTube and you watch it on like ITV or something where it's currently streaming, it just makes it look really good. So yeah, I absolutely loved it. And I've enjoyed torturing you a bit this week.
You say torture, but next week's pick is a Patreon pick, Dave, and it is our good friend Lee, the ventriloquist. So if you do follow Lee, he's cracking at what he does, and he picked some good movies, Dave. But this one, I've got to give him credit, Dave. There is a few legends of the martial arts world over in the UK at the end of April, early May. Mr. Lauren,
yeah.
Dave, and I will not be able to go and see him because I am in Las Vegas. So what an absolute muppet. Well, there is someone else, Dave, that's actually in the UK as well, a legend who you absolutely love for martial arts. So we're going back to 1996, Dave, and we're going to be doing the Cynthia Rothrock martial arts special, Dave, Sworn to Justice. So let's get into the trailer.
In a city torn by violence, a crime comes too close to home.
They murdered my sister and my nephew.
We're gonna nail these animals.
Your Honor, motion to strike.
And when justice fails,
Boarding a little perjury, are we?
with no one,
Good way to get yourself.
She's gone with the whole Pamela Anderson
trust,
haircut there.
haunted by dark memories, visions,
Animals that killed my sister.
Oh,
psychologist Jana Dane is forced
I help defend people. That's my job.
to take justice into
this
her
is like a
own
thriller.
hands.
Got a renegade
Yeah.
street.
No
That
badge,
guy with the beard there, isn't he the one out of China O'Brien? He's like a May in it.
no mercy.
Not Terry Cook.
No, the other guy, the guy who follows around.
I don't remember his name, mate. I didn't see him there, but I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't in there.
Academy Award
The guy who looks like he's out of a Whitesnake video.
Yeah.
McKinney.
No, Sven Kurt.
Oh, wow.
The legend.
Walter Koenig.
Star Trek, Dave.
Fucking,
Cynthia Rothrock, the reigning
Yeah.
queen of martial arts.
Oh, I didn't realise.
Sworn to
Oh,
justice.
I am pumped for this one.
Yeah, he's going to Cloud City all day long. As soon as it come on, I thought, I recognise that guy. Yeah, it's Kurt McKinney. Oh, what a pick here from Lee. Oh, he's pulled this one out of the bag, Dave. This has got to be on YouTube. There's no way. Oh, Dave. Yes, it is, Dave. It's there. 1 hour and 37. Yes, it is. There's
Nice.
2 versions of it. So, yeah, anyone who's looking for it, get on YouTube. But there you go. Absolutely brilliant.
Amazing.
So, what a pick. As a thank you to everyone, as always. Thanks to you for picking this one this week, mate. I've had to do my terrible Arnie impression twice now in the trailers. Absolutely awful. Thanks to Lee and thanks to everyone, as always. If you want to email us, the VHSStrikesBack@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on social media at VHS Strikes Back. And if you do want to support us, please get over to Patreon patreon.com/the VHS Strikes Back. So the roll call of honor, a big thank you to Matty Reese, Nick, Greg, Gareth, Mike, Lee, Helen, Dylan, Dan, Justin, Susan, Tim, Matt, Hales, Kent, Lucky Louie Green, Herb, Jack, Math Blake, John Hammond, and Mr. Tony Farina. Don't know why I got tongue-tied, Dave. I say it every week, but there you go. So massive thank you to all you guys who support us. We do appreciate it. And also, you can get onto Patreon and become a free Patreon follower of the podcast. We do appreciate it. Just gets the numbers up over on Patreon as well. So thank you again for all your support. And honestly, I had so much fun this week, Dave. Absolute belting episode. So what song have you got for us this week, my friend?
So again, the thing that this did, it grounded me in that time of the early 80s. Now, I didn't get into like more heavy metal music until a little bit later in the 80s. But again, I was just thinking back to that time when you had all this fantastic barbarian type artwork in the video shop, and you know, for me, this was screaming that kind of heavy metal. I was thinking Spinal Tap, where again, you know, the music is quite good. It's Spinal Tap, by the way, is a movie we do need to do at some point. But yeah, and again, the music's not bad, but the lyrics are just slightly off. So I wanted to do that kind of approach this week. So here we go. It's simply called Red Sonja.
This is a song about destiny.
She came from fire, she came from flame, she came from somewhere with a difficult name. They took her village, they took her bread, so now they're all extremely dead. She swore an oath, it was very strong. It took most of the night to get it wrong. Red Sonja, red as red can be. Red Sonja, they chose her obviously.
Hey, song, mate.
Red Sonja, still fire.
Leather trousers, not optional.
If you don't like it, that's on you, not me. There's a gem, it's very old. There's a queen, she does what she's told. There's a man, he says I can help. She says no, he helps himself. Every mountain, every land looks much better when you're shouting grand plans. Red Sonja, born to fight and win. Red Sonja, leather rage and discipline. Red Sonja, she walks alone because alone sounds better than with that guy. Destiny, prophecy, something written in a book somewhere. Lightning strikes, wind machines. Nobody knows what any of this means. She stands alone. The battle's done. Or maybe not. We haven't checked. No, wait.
destiny.
There you go, Chris. So fully over the top metal.
Yeah, brilliant. Loved it.
So thank you very much, sir. Love the chat. Love the fact that you didn't send it to the bottom. I still think if we'd have done this one a couple of years ago, that would have definitely gone there. But
Yeah.
no, amazing. I can't wait for next week as well. So thank you very much, sir. Thanks to all our listeners out there. Thanks to all our supporters. And we'll speak to you next time.
Bye.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over. What the fuck are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do?
Maybe we could build a fire, sing a couple of songs, huh? Why don't we try that?
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
I'll be back.
That's odd.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
Wax on, wax off.
Get to the chopper!
One ring to go.
All right. Ding, ding.
Bust you up. Go for it.
Well, here we go. Ain't so bad. Ain't so bad. Ain't so bad. Come on. Come on, ain't so bad. Ain't nothing. Come on. You must be crazy or something. I'm crazy. You just a stupid fool. Maybe you crazy something. I ain't breathing heavy. He's a fool. He's stupid. I've seen you in 6 months.
I must break you.